Hi there, guys. Welcome to the Shoegazer 93 channel. Hello to all you new subscribers. I see that Johnny Greenwood upload is really doing the rounds for me. 200k plus now. So thanks very much for getting that into viral circulation. It's strange because I uploaded it like July the 21st, and then all of a sudden, just in the last couple of weeks, like late September or early October, it just started going viral. It fell into some like recommendations or like some playlist or something. The algorithm is a strange thing, but yeah, this is a bit of a belated celebration. I'm talking about 30 years of Medicine's The Buried Life, which is an absolute insane bonkers album. Just the noise, the guitar being run through something like this. I mean, it's not may not be the exact product, but a four tracker, a 4-track tape recorder is basically what Brad Lana, I think it's pronounced Lana or Lana. Yeah, excuse me for sort of getting it wrong, but I think it's Brad Lana. He ran his guitar through this and basically used the clipping as a distortion. So that's how you get this kind of raw chainsaw kind of lead sound, which is just bonkers. And obviously ran like reverb as well, like after it and or before it, like in a chain. But he had this like sat in his pedal board, I think. But they definitely used it in the studio, that's for sure. A 4-tracker analog tape recorder. But yeah, that's just all part of the nut sound. And then you've got Beth Thompson on vocals, beautiful voice to really contrast with the raging guitar. And yeah, instead of like sorry, yeah, so this came out on October the 12th, 1993. It's the 13th of October 23 today, so I'm like one day late in celebrating it, but I only found out yesterday that there was an anniversary on this. And interestingly, it came out like the same day release as Salt and Pepper, one of their albums, and the Lemonheads. The I think it's the one after Shame About Ray. Just come on, feel the Lemonheads, I think it is, and Pearl Jam Versus, which was like the biggest kind of rock album when I was born. Because I was born in November the 3rd, so yeah, all of this stuff was probably like in the charts and that when I was being born. But yeah, it's just incredible. I mean, they were actually signed. They were the first American band signed on Creation Records, UK-based independent label ran by Alan McGee and Dick Green and Joe Foster. And like it's totally up Alan McGee's street. Like he would have like been loving the noise, and because he was a big like Lou Reed fan, and he already had My Bloody Valentine signed, and Slow Dive and Ride and the Boo Radleys. Like all of those guys were signed around the same time. The Mary Chain, obviously, they were on it for a long time, since 1984. So yeah, the original thing that you can see, a Creation Records product. This was their debut album, Shot Forth Self Living, and yeah, this is bonkers noise. I mean, it's got the song Aruka on it, which they actually made. That was their like debut EP. They made an EP from that song, and then it was on this album. I don't know if you can see there. It says Creation Records products. If I put it right up there. So they were the first American band to be signed to Creation Records, and this was before Bob Mould's Sugar were signed, and they obviously did Blue Copper. That was Sugar's first album on Creation. Because Alan McGee was a big fan of Bob Mould, so it's good that he included American artists or overseas artists on his label as well. But they were only on it for this album, and then The Buried Life came out, and then they were just on American records after that. So the relationship, I'm not quite sure about the full story of that, but obviously the relationship broke down after the first album, or maybe it just didn't like sell well enough in the UK. That was probably the trouble. Yeah, I mean, because even shoegaze was just struggling, wasn't it? By the time this came out in '93, it was like, I guess it was quite hard to have an overseas shoegaze band on your label, let alone a British one, who were obviously suffering from the press, the critics at the time. But yeah, I much prefer The Buried Life as to Shot Forth Self Living, because I think this one's got the noise kind of prolongs for too long. It's just like, look at us, look how noisy we can be, and look how long we can keep going for. Like, for example, you got the first track, One More, which is like 8 minutes of this like apocalyptic noise, and there's really not much vocal melody, as I don't recall much anyway. Aruka is yeah, I mean, even like Aruka, like as melodic and poppy it actually gets, like when the song actually gets going, it is a real earworm, and it is catchy and accessible. But you get like a 1 minute build up of just feedback, and like Brad Lehner just sort of wiping his strings or something, like with a slide, or it might be like a cloth or something. It's just like it's got this kind of this like squeaky kind of cloth kind of sound on guitar strings. But you got 5 on here, spelt with the number 5 and then IVE. But that's really the template, I think, for like everything on The Buried Life. It's just a real like poppy, noisy pop tune, and just so accessible. And 5 Tango, bow, bow, wow. 5 Tango, bow, bow. I mean, what's the riff? It's got a really interesting riff on it. But yeah, I think that's the template really for everything on Buried Life. I mean, you got like Christmas Song, and that's like another like 8 or 9 minute song, which really has nothing to do with Christmas. I think they just kind of, it's a bit of an ironic kind of name, but yeah, I mean, this could be hell and that for a lot of music listeners. It takes a certain kind of person, I think, to really enjoy Medicine. Well, I think, most people can sort of, it will like wow like you for like 1 or 2 songs, like, but I think for most people, if you go endurance and try and listen to the full album, then in one sitting, then it's going to be it's going to be so piercing on the ears. It's going to be really fatiguing on the ears, I think, if you listen to all 9 tracks. I mean, same with this as well. I mean, I had it blasting in my old Volkswagen Polo about 5 years ago. It's like 2006 Polo, so like the speakers were a bit like, they weren't like top end quality, so it was like even more like harsh. The sound was even more harsh than what it would normally be, and I had it absolutely cranked, and probably my ears in the future aren't gonna thank me for that. But it was an experience listening to this album really loud, like as you should do. But yeah, super fatiguing. I remember turning up to work and like my ears were like, oh, they had enough basically. But yeah, I mean the Pink, it's just got this like drill guitar sound. Never Click is obviously, that's a highlight. That just such a great riff. Da, 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 da. And it's got this great harmony between Beth and Brad, like during the chorus. That it's too late, and that bit I really love that dual harmony there. But you know, you do get like softer ones on there. Like Beneath the Sands that's the sleeper track really. That's underrated. Track 10 is called I Hear. I don't think you will after hearing this though. I think you'll be deaf. So I always found that quite ironic. But yeah, you get like Fried Awake, She Knows Everything. Slut is sorry about the language, but that's actually what it's called, track 3. Yeah, that's quite crazy. It's got this like crazy flanger sound going on. Something Goes Wrong. That's really good. I think like didn't Billy Corgan and the Smashing Pumpkins like praise the hell out of that track, or that he did a cover of it or something like that. There's some story I heard on Facebook or YouTube. Baby Doll, the second track, that's really good. But yeah, I think they do break it up though. There are some quieter tracks, like The Earth Is Soft and White is the final one, and then you've got I think Emmeline might be some kind of like little interlude kind of thing. But yeah, definitely, you know, the thing with Medicine is that I wouldn't say it's like Slow Dive on My Bloody Valentine, where it's like using effects as emotion kind of thing. I would say that Medicine is like more like just let's be bonkers with the effects and just see how sonically interesting we can make this. I think that's really the agenda for Medicine. I think, you know, which is great. I'm not digging into that, or I'm not criticizing that at all. I'm just saying that I think Medicine have a different way of, a bit like the Swerve Driver approach. It's more like they're doing it for that cool factor, just seeing how sonically they can push it forward. You know, just make people like go listen to that guitar sound, like just to have that kind of shock, happy shock value. I think that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the audience to react, like thinking, wow, this is absolutely insane. And I mean, that's certainly how I reacted to it. You know, as opposed to just sort of something you melt into. It's very harsh and it comes at you, you know, it's quite assaulting, you know, it's coming at you. Whereas it's, you know, it's not really one you're laying back into like, this is bliss. Like, it's not one you melt into at the end of a long, hard day's work. This is more like, you know, if you want to hear something really cool, like this is the album to put on, you know. If you want something that's absolutely bonkers, and it's, yeah, all the best for it, you know. I think I really love their work, and I think they're still going these days. Brad Lane is always like releasing something. I like what they got on the liner notes and stuff, like inside the booklet. Jim Goodall on drums, tape recorder. There's this bit of humour in there. You got the beautiful Beth Thompson there. Absolutely stunning. And there's Brad, I think. And then it's saying stuff like gracious assistance from Van Dyke Park's piano and arrangement on Live It Down, He-Go bass guitar on all tracks, strings on I Hear, arranged by Jim Garofalo and Miriam Mayer, violin and viola by Miriam, cello by Stephanie Fife, the shit guitar played itself. All songs published by Milk Alive, Virgin Music, BMI 93, produced by Brad Lehner, between September 92 and July of 1993. Recorded at Hammer in Chatsworth, California. Engineered by Chris Apthorpe, assisted by Richard Hassel. Additional recording was done in Brad's living room in the wee hours of the night, completely naked. These guys are funny. Mixed at Hammer, Devonshire. That's actually Devon is the county where I'm from in England, so that's interesting. That's obviously some Devonshire in America. And Tiffany's World by Apthorpe, Hassel and Medicine. Medicine has a manager named Jeff Jack Quinn for creative music management. Executive Smarty Pants, Mark Geiger. Send compromising photos to you, and then they got like a massive address. But yeah, Mark Geiger is the producer, and the chief engineer was well, it was produced by Brad Lehner and Mark Geiger, I think, and then engineered by Chris Apthorpe. So yeah, absolutely. If you want this off the wall, incredible fuzz sounds, unrelenting fuzz sounds, then this is the album for you. If you want shoegaze with a bit of bonkers to it, then this is the one. So yeah, happy 30th anniversary. Happy 30th to the Bury Life. Curve Cuckoo came out like a month ago, I think. The anniversary passed. I tried to get Dean Garcia on the show for this, but to no avail, unfortunately. But this is one I would like to interview Dean for, and I would also like to get Brad on to talk about these two albums, especially, and Her Highness, which came out in 95. Yeah, if I can do that, then it'd just be so much better for the channel. You guys will get bigger and better content. It would be more of a deep dive into the shoegaze scene, and that's what I'm looking for, really. I'm looking for more interviews with engineers, producers, Alan Moulder, and Robin Guthrie. If I can get guys like that on as well to talk about the techie side of things, that would be amazing. But also, I'm looking to get the musicians on. It'd just be so good for you guys, and it would be more great, indispensable info for the archives, really. I want to make this channel like a history archive, really, of shoegaze and alternative music. And I think interviews is such a powerful way to extract the real information about things. So I'm going to try my best and try and steer people towards this channel. And yeah, hopefully I can get some big names in the community on this channel, because it's not just for my benefit, but it'd be for the benefit of you guys, the shoegaze fans, the foot fetish people. So yeah, I hopefully this channel just goes onwards and upwards. And if you're new to the channel, then hi again, and yeah, expect more of this content, as well as a variety of different style of content. Yeah, obviously Drop 19s have got their album coming out on my birthday on the 3rd of November, so I'm going to look to talk about that. They've got a new single dropping 19th of October, so their third single from the album's coming out then. So I guess I'll see you. Yeah, I guess I'll see you for that. Just to do a little review of the Drop 19's third single, and I've heard a preview, and that sounds bonkers as well. So that's another American band as well from the early 90s that are worth talking about. So yeah, I shall say cheerio and peace out once again. Take care, guys. Subscribe.